Hey guys, how's it going? Sydney here from PhoneDoc.com, and I want to update you guys on my BlackBerry Torch 30-day challenge. As you guys know, or if you didn't see the first video, I have switched to the Torch. I'm going to be switching for 30 days, trying it out as my personal device. I have my SIM card in here. This is my first time using a BlackBerry as my personal phone. I have experience with the operating system, but I've never actually used one as my personal device. So this is the first time doing that. And it's day 8, so it's been about a week, a little over a week. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on it. Before I do that, I had a lot of people ask why I picked the Torch. It's the Torch 9810 that I have. So I had a lot of people ask why I picked the Torch over the BlackBerry Bold 9900, considering the Bold is, obviously a better phone, has better build quality. The reason why I picked the Torch is because for me, it was the best BlackBerry to go with for this 30-day challenge. I'm used to having a large touchscreen display, and so it would be easier for me to make the transition to BlackBerry, to a BlackBerry that has a large touchscreen display. So that's why I picked the Torch over the Bold. But just, some of my impressions so far, I mentioned in the first video that really it's just a lot of getting used to. I used Android for so long, I used Windows phones for so long, and I got used to doing things a certain way with each operating system. And now I have to do things a different way with BlackBerry. I'm slowly getting used to it. I'm kind of figuring out, okay, this is how this works, or this is how this system works. That's again just going to take some time. There are some things that do kind of irk me about it. For example, and this is kind of a small thing, and I tweeted about it if you follow me on Twitter, but the hardware buttons, the silence button and the volume rocker, they don't actually work to change the ringer. I mean, obviously I know you can use it to change or to mute any music that you're playing, or while you're playing a game you can use the volume for that, but to actually change the ringer, you have to go here and then go to a different profile, which isn't that difficult. I mean, you just turn on the screen and do it, but you have a silence button right here. I mean, it would be so simple to have this silence the ringer, and I can't tell you how many times I was pushing and I was like, is this actually doing anything? And it's not. And so to me that just makes absolutely no sense, but it's a small thing, so I can definitely get used to that. BlackBerry App World, the app selection is not that great. And before I continue, I don't mean to just be talking about all these negative things. I am getting used to the device, and it's not a terrible device, but these are just some things that I've noticed. Yeah, BlackBerry App World, not a lot of apps, and it was something that I expected because I know the count. I mean, I know how many apps there are in App World. I came from Windows Phone, where again it's very limited. There's, I think it just hit 60,000 apps, so I was expecting to have a limited selection. But the problem is not just the selection, it's also the quality of the apps. Even with the Windows Phone Marketplace, yeah, there's not a lot of apps, but they're high quality and they're name brand apps. And you have, for mobile banking, I can get a Chase app, or if I need anything else, ESPN, it's a name brand app. Whereas with the BlackBerry App World, not only is it, a very low selection, but it's just kind of these cheap knockoff apps that are expensive. I mean, it would be one thing if there's not a lot of apps, okay, fine. But then they're cheap knockoff apps, okay, whatever. But then they're like $3 too, and I'm just like, no way. That to me has been kind of frustrating, the lack of apps. And I said in the first video, I don't use a lot of apps. I mean, I'm not a big app person. I'm not the type of person to download some weird app that does some cool thing that I'm going to use like once every 2 months. I don't do that. I read news, check my email. I do, use ESPN. There's a Score Center app, but it's in no way compares to the real ESPN app. So yeah, the app selection has been disappointing. Let me see what else. Battery life has been great, which is what I expected. I can get through about 2 days if I really push it without having to charge it. So that's nice. I mean, to me, battery life was never really that big of a deal. I know with Android you have to charge it every night. Big deal. I'm asleep anyway. It's not like I'm going to use it. So, but it does have great battery life, so that's good to have. Let me see what else. Things that I miss from, coming from Android, coming from Windows Phone. I really miss widgets and live tiles. I didn't realize how accustomed I had gotten to widgets and live tiles. just for things like email messaging, Twitter. With live tiles, you know, I could pin a shortcut to something within an app. So it's not just Flickster from movies, it's I have a tile for this particular theater and I just select it and it opens it. You know, same thing with widgets. You don't just have the information, you could have a couple of, you know, your inbox from your text messages or email. It's just very robust, and with BlackBerry, you know, you obviously don't have that. It's basically a grid of icons, which is what you get with iOS. You know, it's kind of similar to that. Now I've downloaded a weather app where it does push the weather to the icon, which is kind of nice, you know, and then again, you have the notification bar where it'll tell me if I have new emails. I mean, it's not completely devoid of, you know, any reminders or notifications at all. I mean, it's a great system and it works, but it's just not as robust as live tiles and widgets, and I just got used to that. So those are my thoughts. Day 8, that's what I've noticed so far. I know it maybe seems like a lot of negative, but trust me, you know, so far as I've noticed, it's a phone. I can make calls, send text messages, check my email. I can do everything I need to do. It's just not quite as, the experience just isn't there the same as it is with Android and Windows Phone and, you know, and iOS. The experience, and that's big to me, maybe because I'm a girl, you know, and we're more emotional, but to me, the way things look, the way it feels, you know, not physically, but just aesthetically, the way it feels is important to me, and I don't get the same experience with BlackBerry as I get with Android and Windows Phone and iOS. If there's something that I should know, if I said something negative and you're like, well, yeah, you can fix it and do it this way, or oh my gosh, I can't believe you don't know about this, let me know, BlackBerry guys and girls, if there's a feature I should know about, or an app, or a shortcut, or anything, any tips, let me know, because like I said, I want to have a great experience with this phone. I'm going to be using it for 30 days, so I might as well enjoy it. Those are my thoughts so far. I'll keep you guys updated. I will be back on the 14th. I'll have a day 9 update. Actually, this isn't day 8, this is day 5. I don't know what I was talking about. Yeah, it's day 5. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, so this is day 5. I'll be back on day 9, which is the 14th. But that's it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.